Good morning. Uh, I told y'all we're gonna start off the morning right. Come on, y'all. Good morning. Hey, hey, I got my coffee, y'all. Let's see. Mama needs some coffee. Hey, hey. Come on. If you don't like this, come on. Hey, good morning. You like to know what you're doing. But you know what? I'll tell y'all. Hey, 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 hey. Good morning. Come on. Yeah. Hey, come on. Come on. All right, I'm gonna turn it off. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody is doing well. Y'all know me. I'm gonna start it off with a little some. I'm gonna be happy this morning. I'm gonna come and say good morning. I hope everybody is having a great morning thus far. Are you still? I'm still live. I'm still live right now, Nancy. I just started, so I'm a couple minutes late, but I'm just started. So we here. So I want to first say good morning. We about 9 o'clock West Coast time. Some of y'all mid afternoon, depending on where you at, or getting ready to enter, or just started, or maybe some of y'all the next day. I don't know where everybody is in the world, but wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, however it may be for you right now. So, hey Nancy, how's it going? How you doing? Good morning, Maria. How are you, beautiful? I have missed you. I'm glad to see you. Glad to hear from you. Glad you're doing better. So, welcome to Corner Chat and Coffee. Y'all know, Mama got her coffee. I got my coffee ready. Some of y'all, I know everybody don't drink coffee. Some are tea drinkers. Some are milk. Whatever the case may be, whatever's gonna work for you first thing in the morning. Janine, it says it all right here. Mama needs some coffee. That's it. So I'm having my cup of coffee right now, and I wanted to talk to y'all about some things. If you guys saw my my little small 30-second video earlier, I said today we're going to talk about forgiveness. Now I know I've talked about this subject before, um, but I had some things happen recently that I wanted to share with you. And even with all this stuff going on with COVID and things like that, there are things that are surfacing for a lot of people. And I kind of felt maybe I need to revisit this subject and the uh, the real importance of forgiveness, why it is so necessary. And first and foremost, I want to acknowledge that forgiveness is not for the person who offended you. It's really for us. And I'm going to go into different details. I'm going to explain some own things about myself, some things that I even just recently and is just experienced. Um, some of it, when I look at, it, I'm like, that was real stupid. Even when I was going through it, I was saying this is really stupid, but I was feeling that way, and I will go into details as to why as we continue. So I'm gonna try my best not to keep this long, but y'all know me, I get to talking, and then y'all start saying stuff, and I start responding, and hey, we in a conversation, so I will do my best to keep this um, yeah, as short as I can. Okay. Also, I am on my computer, and yesterday my screen, the video part where I see myself talking to y'all on Facebook, it kept saying, "Sorry, we can't show the video no more." So I'm hoping and praying, and Lord, don't let it happen today. But if it happens again, I will sign off and come back. Okay, just giving you guys a heads up. Okay, I don't know if it's my computer or not. I am going to have to go get this checked out, and I probably will do that over the weekend. Okay, but grab your pens and pencils if you need to, and we're going to talk about this thing. So, forgiveness is defined as a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether or not they've actually deserved your forgiveness. So, as you see, I just started, I said, this is not, forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. I had just listened to a message. Y'all know I go to church. Y'all know I'm in ministry, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put it like this. I just listened to a message Sunday, and the woman of God was speaking. She was saying how we carry weights. So sometimes it's like stones around it. Some of us are not even just carrying stones around it. We got boulders on our shoulders. We got boulders to our ankles. And y'all know what I'm them big old rocks that you see coming down the mountains and the hills, and you see on the news and say you can't go up this hill because whatever boulders. Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? We're carrying a lot of those things, and what we don't realize is these things weigh us down. Those stones, those rocks, those boulders. I'm gonna tell you those can be. So when we talk about resentment and vengeance, anger, hate, Um, and we're seeing a lot. And the reason why I'm talking because we're seeing a lot of this right now. So this is why I'm bringing it back. Um, Anger, hate, um, things that happened to us years ago. Somebody hurt us. So I hate a group of people just because of one or two people that did something. So, I've had bad relationships. So because of that, I could sit here and say, "Oh, men are just horrible." In fact, I could go there. My whole life I've only dated black men, so I could sit here and say, "Black men ain't crap." I can't. I don't feel that way. Let me be very clear. But I could sit here and say, "Black men aren't crap. They ain't this. They ain't." I could be. I could do that because of hurt and pain that I have felt over the years. I could sit here and say, you know, um, um, you know, police officers are horrible. They are mean. They this. They that. They don't really do this. They um, different things. We have a lot of bitterness, resentment, hate, things that we are holding on to that we are now carrying these boulders. We are carrying weights. We are carrying things on us that we no longer need to carry. And it's like, wait a minute, for what? I started out today with the song I Like Me, and it's a song by Kirk Franklin. Why did I play that song? Because in that song, he talks about, I like me. Do you like me? I like me because God likes me. Do you like me because I like me? Now, I know God loves me. I love Janine. Now, whether you love me or not, it's a whole different story. Now, I know two people on here that's on here now. I know they love me. And I know there are other people here that do. But at the end of the day, if I know I need to, how can I truly say I like me, I love me, and I know the God that I serve loves me? He likes me and he cares so much for me. He not only sent his son. How is it that this part that the Spirit of God, I'm asking God bless me, God do this, God do that for me. But I have resentment, I have vengeance, I have all these things in my heart. Yet I'm saying, God forgive me. And he has forgiven me for my sins and things that I do wrong. But he can't keep blessing me because I got this hindrance in me. So, and I know I went there with it, but y'all know me, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna go there with it. How can I hold? I ask God for that. And you want blessings, we want this, we want that, but there's that hindrance. If he sent his son to die for our sins, that means he wiped the slate clean. And we're gonna go into the three different types of forgiveness. And I'll elaborate into that a little bit more. But he wiped the slate clean for us. So if you wipe the slate clean, that means I no longer hold it against you. But I need you to live right. If my Heavenly Father could do that for me, we as people should be able to do the same way. If we are, especially for created in His image, especially if we are trying to strive to be more like Him, we have to be that example. So I'm going to go into three different types of forgiveness, okay? So one is exoneration, which I just kind of spoke about right now. So exoneration is the slate is completely wiped clean and the relationship is fully restored. Forgive and forget. Now, I'm going to something personal. Many of y'all know I was married. I was married to my son's father. He and I were married for 3.5 years. We were together for almost 10. Okay. Now, I had a lot of hurt, and I'm actually still recovering from a lot of things from that. I'm going to be real 100 with you. I am still recovering from a lot of things in that marriage, in that relationship. I went through a psychological, emotional, abusive relationship. A lot of people don't know that, but I did. And that took a toll on me, you know. Um, when I say recently, I was still even mad after we broke up. After I left, I'm the one that left, I'm the one that moved on, but I carried some stuff with me um, that really had, oh goodness, that I really didn't need to. It's like you would think if you left, you're not holding on those things, but regardless whether you're the person to leave, whatever the case may be, there are things and hurts and feelings and things that you have in your heart. I had that. I had a lot of hurt. I had a lot of pain. I had a lot of resentment, most in my heart for him. So, how did I deal with that? So, the first way I dealt with that was I did drink. I drank. I smoked a black and mild. I probably had sex with. I had sex with different people. Okay, I, that's what I did. I screwed my way out of my feelings, and I'm gonna keep it in 100 with y'all. People have different ways of how we let our feelings out. So either we find a vice, we find different vices. So alcohol, you dispensaries, you think about it right now with COVID-19, people are stressed, people are panicking, people are going through all these things. And what are we doing? We're going to our vices, we're drinking. Drinking went up 55%. Dispensaries were selling like crazy. All kinds of stuff had been going on. We're going to these things so we can numb ourselves to the situation that's at hand going on, but we don't deal with it. And then we have things happening in our homes. So there's feelings and things and resentments, and you have anxiety, you have forgiveness. I'm saying all this because you have a lot of emotions and things that have come up. And you go, why? Because there's a root to the problem. And a lot of times it can be unforgiveness. It's something that we're holding on to that we need to let go, and we're not letting it go. So when I come back and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about my relationship, there was those things I had to let go. So here I am, and I'm now getting into ministry. I'm saying, Lord, work on me. And like I said, God bless me. God do this. God do that. God said, okay, I don't mind doing for you, Janine, but I need you to do something. And I said, oh, there's some things I had to begin to do. I had to find myself praying for my ex-husband. And I was like, first time it came to me, I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to pray for that. I had every face. And I know, like, yeah, like, oh goodness, I look like my mama when I did that. But I didn't want to, but I had to because I cannot live this life as a believer of Christ and have that resentment and forgiveness, unforgiveness in my heart. So I started praying for him. And one of the things, one thing the Word of God will say to you is pray for your enemies, bless your enemies, bless those that curse you. So I was like, okay, so I said, Lord, I pray that you bless him. Lord, I pray that you keep him covered. Lord, I pray that you keep him safe. I had to start doing those things. But as I was doing that, although I said I forgave him and I really didn't, I really began to find myself healing from that hurt, healing from that pain, healing from that resentment, things that I was holding on to. I really was beginning to let go. And I'm going to tell you how I knew I let go. This is, like I said, this is recent. So maybe 2, 3 weeks before Mother's Day of this year, he and I had an argument. And he started, well, we didn't have an argument. Yeah, we had an argument. And it was more one sided. That's probably why I say I don't want even an argument because I didn't argue back. Um, he said something and I was going to say something back. Then I finally texted him back. I said, I will not argue with a fool. And he said something, and I wrote a long, I wrote this text that you got that. And as soon as I was done, I didn't even send it. I looked at it and I said to this man, I will not argue with a fool. I deleted the whole thing and I got quiet. Said, okay, Lord, how should I deal with this? I caught myself exonerating myself, forgiving, forgive, but I hadn't forgot, nor had I truly forgiven. So I had to. I didn't say nothing. A couple weeks later, he texted me Happy Mother's Day. I didn't even respond. I was like, He just cussed me out a few weeks ago. He was calling me this. He was saying, I ain't doing it. A couple weeks later, I think he texted me something else. A few weeks, no, was it a few weeks later? Yeah. He texted me something else, and I didn't respond. And I honestly didn't respond to that particular. It was a text that he was telling me he sent child support. I didn't respond to that text mainly for the simple fact that I was like, you really think I just want money? No, money can't hold. Y'all know me, but I didn't even acknowledge it. Then I had my son call him for Father's Day, and I heard them having their conversation. I went, it didn't bother me. Now this is where I want you from Mother's Day to Father's Day when they have the conversation. It didn't bother me. I went, now, mind you, during this whole period of time, I'm already praying. I'm already asking God to help me. It didn't really bother me as much as it normally would. Normally, I went, cool. My son and I would talk about, cool. My birthday was just Saturday. He texted me happy birthday. I responded, thank you. I was shocked at my own self. It didn't phase me none, didn't do that. I just went, hmm. Yesterday he texted me about the size shoe our son wears. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is why I said this is why I'm talking about it. A part of me did not want to respond. Now that's stupid. I was crazy. I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to have been past it. It's not like it bothered me. It's not, but when you know the devil you deal with, when you know the spirit you're dealing with, and you know that spirit's not right, and sometimes they have sneaky motives, and I'm always like, you, because I know him as well as I do, something that simple made me go, what you revealed. But nevertheless, I had to get dealt with. God had to seriously deal with me, and that's crazy. At the same time, I'm like, God, why am I battling with this? This is stupid. And I'm like, but if I forgave him, why am I battling with something so dumb? Right? Fortunately, I truly believe in God sending us dreams and sending us warnings. And everybody doesn't, but I do. A few nights ago, I had a dream, and basically, God was telling me I was in my flesh. I wasn't operating in my spirit. And He was forewarning me that I was going to be acting in my flesh yesterday with that particular situation. See, I can't sit here and tell you guys to forgive and things like that, but when I'm operating in my flesh but not trusting God for anything and not saying, God help me, I can't do that. That's hypocritical on my part. So in that just little small minute situation, I said, wow, God, I've been asking you to help me forget. God, I've been trusting you. God, I've been doing this. God, I've been doing that. But here comes something, and I can't trust you enough just to know that you've already worked out whatever it may be. If He did have an alternative plan, I can't trust God to work that. Wait a minute, hold up. You are a powerful being. God, you know and see all. How do I not trust you? I had to get checked. Yes, I did synthesize and I let it go and move forward. But I had to share that with you because little stupid things, and that was stupid. Little something dumb. That didn't mean nothing. I don't know what that would have meant for my son. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, okay, that's it. Now, whether he does something, cool. If he doesn't, okay. I did my part. I can't hold that. I can't hold that against anybody. But what I'm saying to you is to be healed. I've had to forgive him and forget. I can tell you right now, as much as the stuff that happened in our marriage and our relationship, have I forgiven him? I am in the process of still forgiving this man. Oh, this is how somebody sent me a message. I'm still forgiving because I know there has still been some hurt, some underlayers. I made it very clear I do not trust him because of the pain and the hurt and the things that he's done before. But here's the thing, God did not look at me. I don't trust you because of the things that you've done before, because I have plenty of reasons for me not to trust you. So, how is it that you want me to forgive you and trust you, but you can't forgive your fellow brother? Doesn't mean I got to be lovey dovey and no, but I have to act accordingly. I have to be that example, and an example not only to friends and family, more example for my own son. I'm raising a young man. So I cannot teach my son, forgive people and move forward. You love them where they are. You have to pray. I can't teach him all those things. Yeah, we have to forgive. And shoot, I'm gonna get to that too. We're gonna talk about I'm getting to that. But I can't teach my son that, and I'm not living that by example. So I'm gonna get into that shoot because I got that here, trust and believe. Um, the other part, next form of forgiveness was forbearance. So this is me too. Forbearance was, we think about forbearance, student loans. Hold off and don't take they charge you interest, but this is a different, this is something different. To stop dwelling. Basically, it's forgive, but you don't forget it. A lot of us do that. I forgive you, but it's like I don't really trust you now because I remember that time. And you know what? We hold on to that thing for years. Some of us hold on to for maybe a few days. Some of it might be my son. It'll be 20, 30 years down. I remember that time you did for what? That's still away. Why are we holding on to something? I can still say, example, I remember the time when you didn't show up for your son. I remember the time me being in the hospital, me doing this, me doing that. I was in a hospital. I was going to doctor's appointments, told you been there, did that. You weren't there. I'm still holding that on to him. Uh-uh. At some point, yeah, you did it. This is today. You gonna be here? Great. You're not? Okay. We move forward. God gonna deal with you, but I'm trusting God in the whole process, and God gonna take care of us. That was something I've had to learn. That's something I've been saying, but I've actually got to really walk into it. I'm telling you this because I've been there, done that. I think a lot of us have been there. There are things you will still hold on to something that somebody did to you 20 years ago. I know some people who've been, I'll give you an example of just myself. I wanted to put people's business out, put my own self out. I was raped by a guy about 10, 15 years ago. Okay. And you're welcome, Nancy. I was raped by a guy about 10, 15 years ago. Okay. I was drunk. No, this was longer. How old am I? I'm 40. So I was in my early 20s. So about 20 years ago. Okay. Maybe about a little, give or take, whatever. Anyway, it was a while ago. Right. And I went to a party. Okay. It was a bunch of people there. I had some drinks. I went to sleep on the couch. I woke up with this person on top of me. Okay. I drove home. And when I got home, I went to sleep. But I woke up and I felt funny. I was like, what happened? Like, something don't fit. And I kind of remember, I was like, he was on top of me. I didn't want this guy. Like, I don't. So I called one of my girlfriends, and she might watch this with girls on here. Called her and I told her what happened. She said, Janine, you were intoxicated. I was like, and she said, that's considered rape. I said, no, that ain't rape me. She's like, Janine, make a phone call. She had me call one of those uh, rape hotlines. Okay. So I called them. I told them. I talked to a counselor. I told them the story. They said, "Well, that's considered rape." I was like, "Really?" I had a hard time accepting that. So I called this person. It was at somebody else's house. So this person that raped me was staying at another person's house. Party was at. Okay. So I called the person who actually owned the house. So I need to come by and talk to you. So I came by and I told him, I was like, I don't remember. And the first thing came out, oh, you a hoe anyway. Like, what? You a hoe anyway. And you was the one asking for it. I was like, really? I don't remember that. And I didn't. I really did not remember that. I went home. No, I didn't go back to the house ever again. But I did get a phone call from the guy who did that to me a month later. When I can tell you, first and foremost, I was in complete denial that the whole thing really happened. But for when he called me that night, I will never forget, I was watching the movie in my room. He called me that night. If I can explain the amount of fear, the things that rose up in me that night, you would have thought it had just happened. Because for a month, I was still trying to contemplate that this really happened. But that night, I truly believe that God allowed me to finally realize that it happened. Did I forgive him? Yes. It took some time. Did I forget? It took a while for that. Have I finally forgiven and forgotten? Well, obviously, I'm able to tell the story, but it's nothing I'm holding on to. I can share that story with you now and not get angry. And that's the part where I'm saying you have to forgive and forget. It's not that you forget like it never happened, because sometimes our stories is going to help the next person to go forward. But yeah, we are holding on to it sometimes. Sheila, Sheila, look, I don't need you coming down from Vegas. This is a long. Look, you sound just like Mama. Because I will be honest. I didn't tell my mom till about 2 or 3 months after it happened, and I was terrified to tell my mom. When I told my mother, she cried and she hugged me. And for like 10 years though, where that where nigga live at? You ain't never told me. I said, Mom, God told me. You know, tell me that I know some people. Mama, y'all know my mother. My mother went there. She was like, I know some people. I said, Mom, God to deal with that person. But I had to forgive that person, and I'm believing and hoping that my mom believes my mom. You know, you knew my mama. Y'all knew my mama. Mama was like, yeah, I need to go to talk. I need to talk to both of them. We'd go ahead and make a phone call. Um, but I had to let that go. And see, the thing about it is, I'm a person that has lived and already experienced. When people do certain things to you, people want to call it karma, people want to call it whatever. But I truly believe God protects his own children. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a person where when God knows that person's done, when somebody's done wrong to you, God will deal with them. And honestly, it may not be directly to, maybe indirect, maybe through their children, maybe finance. It could be through anything, but God will deal with that person. And God will bring back to remembrance of what you did to somebody, and this is why this is happening. So I had to forgive. But a lot of us are holding on to things. We forgive, but we don't forget, and we wonder why we got that hindrance, why we're not moving forward. See, a lot of things that's going on right now in this world. Hello. Let me go there with it because I just one person, but I'm gonna go take this on a bigger level. We have a lot of unforgiveness in this country, in this world. You think racism, sexism, police brutality, all this has not happened. This everybody. Oh well, we thought we passed it. No, you just buried it, baby. All of this was like it was like hide it. You know, we're gonna take it. I'm gonna take like my phone. I hide it in my book, and we ain't gonna talk about it. At some point, you keep saying, "God bless America. God give us this. God, oh Lord." Well, God said, "I'll give it to you." But guess what? I gotta expose this thing, and you gotta deal with it. We have to deal with the crap, and I do mean the crap. See, we were supposed to forgive, but forget that it happened. You can't forget slavery. It happened. You can't forgive police brutality. It's happened. It's happening now. You can't forget sexism. It's happening. You can't forget domestic abuse. It's happening. All these things are happening. But we keep saying, God bless us, God help us, God do this. God said, I want to. But you got to clean your crap up. And how we gonna clean our crap up and do this and we are being unforgivable to one another? We can't do that. But then we're gonna go here. I'm gonna go with the other one. This release. That's the third part of forgiveness. Janae, what's release? I'm gonna tell you what it's the lowest level of forgiveness. I read that. I went, wait, what? I'm gonna tell you why. Because it applies to. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I wrote it. It applies to the situation in which the person who hurt you has never acknowledged any wrong doing. They never apologized or has offered in incomplete or they offer an incomplete or insincere apology. I'm gonna give you two examples of the two things I just talked about. So one, the guys called me a hoe after being raped. They never acknowledged that something was done to me. And in fact, the night when that guy called me, he called me. He was like, "I'm sorry if I did anything to hurt you." Eh, I can't. You took advantage of me, but now you gonna call me with this? My ex-husband. He has not acknowledged that he cheated. When he cheated with everything that opened his legs. See, you have to understand. Y'all have to see. This is where I'm different, maybe from some. I know that people like I believe in open marriage. I believe in this. Is cool. I'm a little old school Google. Okay, I know there's some people like that. Same way with me. I don't. I ain't sharing my stuff. You mine, you mine, and I'm not. Can't. I can't do it. That's my get down. Okay. Everybody got different beliefs. Right on with you. Janine's way different. I do, if I'm keeping myself for my husband, I'm keeping myself to only give myself to my husband. Let me, and I kind of mentioned this um, some weeks ago, probably a month ago, but I said men are the givers of men. You guys give life. Okay, you guys carry the seed. When you are entering a woman, okay, you are entering into her womb. We carry that thing. So sometimes you may not understand. You may not understand. Sometimes you can sleep with this, that. And ladies, when we open our legs, we open to receive. You hear me? So I'm opening myself to receive stuff. It ain't just some good thing. It may be good, it may not. It's gonna last a few seconds, whatever the case may be. Thank you, whoever said that. It could be whatever. You hear me? When you open, you're open to receive in my womb, in my spirit. So I'm going to receive whatever you bring me. So let's put it like this. I'm going to go something real simple with y'all. Women are the biggest carriers of AIDS and HIV. I need you to think about that. Women, let me go there. African American women, in more particular, are the biggest carriers of AIDS and HIV. We opened ourselves to receive. So when you hopping along, I'm gonna get this girl. She got fat ass. I said it fat ass. She got. Ooh, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. Whoo, whoo. You over here, and I'm a hurt. I'm gonna get. And I'm gonna get. And you're like, girl, I'm gonna go ahead. I've done that. Please, baby, please don't. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I did it. I told y'all earlier. Girl, I would tell you right now. I would look at a brother and I would say, yeah, I'm gonna get that. Why? Because I can. But I'm opening myself to things physically and spiritually. Now, Janine, what's that got to do with releasing? Because you realize how much you release, you open yourself to. You open yourself to even that hurt, that pain. People do things to afflict pain, girl. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pain and things that we are consistently receiving, but we carry it and we don't even forgive. This is like even when Sheila said we need to forgive ourselves. Do you realize a lot of times that the reason why we are carrying hurt because we don't release that thing? So I'm gonna tell you that I went in and said about my ex-husband because of him, but I had to release that thing. I had to release the simple fact that here he is. I'm saving myself for him and him alone, but he's going with everything else in the world and bringing it home to me. I had to forgive him for that. Now, very quickly, he was, I ain't never cheated. Girl, I was faithful to you. Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. And anybody that knows the whole details of the situation, a lot of people already know that ain't true. First mother knew it wasn't true. But I had to forgive him for that. I had to forgive him not only for sleeping around, but for opening me up to different things. That's why I went there with it. You opened me not to different diseases, but you opened me up to different spirits. Hey, Jay, you opened me up to different spirits. As you were sleeping with different women, you opened me up to your wife, your woman, the one that you're supposed to care and protect. You opened me up to that. But I had to forgive him. It was a necessity, not for him, but for me. Because, like I said at the very beginning, the weights and the boulders that I had on me were weighing me down. If I did not release them, and I knew that the God had already spiritual release, but I was holding on to it, I had to finally go, I forgive him for that. Now, I know some people could be in a relationship with somebody and they go cheat. You forgive, make up, and you know, you completely sorry. Y'all move on happily ever after. Some people are like the number two, like I told forbearance. You forgive, but trying to forget. I remember sleeping with this. But then some of us will never get it. Or some of us be like, that guy that raped me. I ain't do nothing to you. Insincere, incomplete. Let me take you back on a bigger scale. We have been insincere to different people in this country. We Racism should not be here anymore. America is a smoldering pot of people. How can we sit here and say I love you and I forgive you, but yet I could call you nigga to your face. I could call you nigga behind your back in certain circles. I could tolerate the word nigga. I could tolerate the word stick. I could tolerate the word wetback. And I'm not saying these. I'm saying these words because these are words and things that we tolerate in certain circles, but we can't. We won't say it to the person's face. We tolerate the word bitch and hoe, but say I love and respect women. But you can say bitch and hoe like it ain't nobody's business. We can say a lot of derogatory things, but our conversation, our actions, sound totally different. Nancy asks, so is your sharing this with us continuing of your own healing process? Is sharing out loud speed up the healing? You know what? I'm sharing this, Nancy, with a lot of people because yes, I am still going through my own healing, but I felt the need that other people are going through the same thing. Um, I just felt that in my spirit. I felt like some people are probably experiencing, and I've been feeling it for a while. I've just had the finally had the courage to finally speak about it. I don't like speaking about it and speak about it clearly and to honestly just speak about it comfortably because I couldn't speak about it comfortably. Me and being able to speak about these things comfortably now lets me know I finally have been released from it. See, there is a difference. When I say release, I've been released from it. I no longer hope. That man comes to in this house right now. Hey, how you doing? You good? You want some water? Okay. And that stupid little text. Sorry, sorry. Okay. It sounds silly, but it was real. I was released from that. I could be released from a lot. But see, I had to be released from those things because it's the main reason why I'm really single right now. I choose not to enter into another relationship until I'm completely healed and I can go into another relationship whole. So I truly believe God. And personally, I asked God to help me with it. I asked God, He said, okay, and here we go. I may not like how a lot of things happen. I may want to say, I don't feel like dealing with some stuff. But God said, no, you're going to deal with it. And trust and believe He's going to make me deal with some things I still may not want to deal with. I've had to deal with some things about my father, and my dad's been dead for 20 years. I had issues with my daddy. Daddy been down. I probably had some own issues with my own mama. And I know everybody think, oh, you mean, yeah, yeah, me and my mama probably had some issues. And I might have been harboring some things against my own mother. But God's gonna have to, I have to let that go. For what? I'm saying this process is more important than anything. It's so important for ourselves because I'm going to tell you right now, when you forgive, it's freeing for real. It's not, I started out with saying it's not for them, it's for you. The fact that I can sit here as calm and comfortably and share the things I'm sharing with you without getting angry, without getting upset. I don't even think about it later on, to be honest. And sometimes I remember, I, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you did that. It's not affecting me no more. It's not a virus. It's not a cancer. Because see, when we hold these things, it comes out in another way. So I've explained to you before in another video. There are a lot of things that my son has to. There's some things I know Mari's going to have to deal with. Okay, when Mari is stressed, if his stress levels go to a certain level and he gets too much, it can cause him to have a seizure. That's what causes the seizures. He has stress. With him being an autistic child, anybody knows about autistic children don't really express themselves too well. Okay, so it's something he's had to learn, some behavior, some skills, and some things he's had to learn in order to begin to express how he feels about certain things. So he's slowly beginning to do that, and he's getting better. He's gotten better as time has gone on. Have we had seizures? Thank goodness, no, we haven't. Thank God for medicine and all that stuff. He has not. I'm trusting and believing. Eventually, one day, he's going to be off that medicine. But until that day comes, these are the things we have to keep his levels to a certain. I have to keep him stress free as much as I can. And with COVID-19, that's become interesting, and that's a whole nother topic. But again, back to releasing. But see, then when releasing does, it takes me all the way back to exonerate, forgive, and forget. The fact that I could probably now be in, not probably, I know I could be in the same room with that man. I could be in the same room with my ex-husband and just, okay, how you doing? Knowing that I could be in the same room with him. And it's not, I'm not getting angry, anything like that now. If I do feel anything, I have to test because maybe I'm picking up his spirit. And that's just being very honest with you. My spirit is sensitive. So I could pick up other folks. But, and that may or may not be, but, and I'm praying that it doesn't. But just that it does not no more, that's important. I should be able to enter a room with people that I know don't. I was in a room with people not too long ago, and I knew every person in that room didn't care about me. They didn't like me. I went in there, hey, how you doing? All right, have a good day. I was still saying, what you see here is the same person that went in, that same person came on out. We don't need to harbor and hold on to these things. There's no point in doing it. Release it. Because see, and when I talk about release, some of the people who deal with child abuse, people who have business partners, um, they gave an example of business partners who cheated them out of their money, or you had a family member betray. You're going to always run into people who are going to deny or give you a halfway apology about something that may have afflicted you. But do you want to hold on to that thing? You can. That's your choice. But if you hold on to it, recognize what you're doing. You're hindering yourself. In the Bible, we talk about we hindering ourselves. You hindering your blessings. You're hindering things that God has for you. You want God to work certain things out, but you holding on to this thing. Like, I don't know. So here's my phone. Okay. So forgive me. That's still mine. It's mine. Why am I doing that? I gotta let that thing go. Siri's about to talk to me. I gotta let that go. Well, I forgive you. That goes with forbearance. I forgive you. But I for what? And it sits there. So then we wonder why we have things that illnesses that pop up. We have anxieties. We have mental issues. Hey, Kyla, I, I'm, I'm glad it worked for you, baby. You know you can call me anytime, right? Okay, just telling you that. That's my great niece, my beautiful great niece. Um, y'all say hi, Kyla. um, but you have to let those things go. You hold it on and it doesn't do anything for you. So it's like, okay, how do I do this? So I'm gonna give you some steps. So the first one is uncover your anger. Okay. I acknowledged that I was upset with my ex-husband because he cheated. One of them. There was a lot of them, but I'm gonna give you the one. One, he cheated. He cheated on me. I acknowledged that. Was I angry about it? Heck yeah. Why? Because you, I was faithful to your raggedy butt. Come on. Look, and y'all know what I say, but y'all know what I say, right? All right, y'all. My mom, if my mom was alive, she would tell you every word I said, and it wasn't pretty. I think it was one. My mom gave me two passes to cuss out. One when my father died, and the other time about my ex-husband. She gave me two passes to cuss as much as I need to because I just had to get it out how I got it out. And then afterwards, she said, gave me a hug and kiss, and I knew I couldn't do it no more. I got two passes, but I went off. Had to. Then I had to say, okay, how I gotta get, I gotta forgive this man. So I had to start doing it. The first thing said, you need to begin to pray for him. And I told y'all, the first thing I do not want to pray, but I had to. I cannot walk in ministry. I cannot walk by the word of God and want to live right and live holy. And I have this unforgiveness in my heart. That's not going to work. So I had to start praying for him regularly. Yeah, I got two passages. Then I had to release. Was the last one I liked was a release from your emotional prison. Emotional. I had to be released from that anger. The fact that I know he could come and sit in front of me right now and I don't feel nothing lets me know I moved on. The fact that when he texts me now, I didn't even get angry. I normally get angry. I normally will be fussing. And I'm gonna be real. I'll get a text. I'm talking to that. It's much, and he ain't done it. I'll go through that. And I know y'all didn't hear a word I said on that, but I'll be making all the faces and I'll be mumbling and grumbling and stuff. And the Lord's like, thought you said you forgave him. I did. Well, how are you mumbling and grumbling? Well, I'll give you another example. Many of you guys know my mom was married. Her ex-husband was abusive. Okay. I was mad. Y'all saw a video I probably did right after my mom died. And I did it on my personal page and I said something. But I had to forgive him. You heard the words. But I had to forgive him. I hope nothing but one thing I know. See, when the thing about it is when you really know you're truly walking and talking and you trust and believe in God, you know God has your back. God said, vengeance is mine. So here I serve my personal Lord and Savior. God, I trust and believe in you. I thank you. He woke me up this morning. I have a sound mind, all these other things. We say this, God keep blessing me. God keep me. God did this. But we have this harbor and hate and things that we will not let go. And the first thing, you hold this, but then you say, you want God to do this for you, but you still holding on to something against your fellow brother. So since Jay's here, Jerron, y'all know that's my cousin. Love him dearly. I don't think I've ever been. I no, I've never been mad at Jerron. But let's just say I was mad at Jerron. I don't know. He took some a lamp from my house. Okay, Jerron, you took that lamp and you did that with that lamp. Yeah, yeah, that. I can't sit here and say I genuinely love my cousin, but I'm mad at him over a lamp. Yeah, I was like, why didn't you just let it go? Forgive him for it. Some stupid a lamp. We won't be mad over somebody over a lamp. I could my great niece is here, Kyla. Kyla, love you. I'm gonna go ahead and use example, boo boo, because you're here. You know, I'm mad at her because she. I don't know. I ain't never been mad at my niece. I haven't. I had no reason to. But y'all know she cut her hair. It's her hair. But somebody will be mad at her over that. I'm giving examples when we think about things. We get angry over little things. I know that was funny, Hunter. We hold on to little things, and some things are not that are not. I know I look like my mom. I say that every day, but we hold on, and some things are not that small. Some things are big. Some things have been hurtful and really detrimental. So I want that to be clear. But the thing about it is, you have to go through that process of those feelings, and then once you went through that, let it go. People get sick over things. Where God says, "Let a man examine himself." You have to examine this every single day. This is my temple. This is my church. This is my temple. I'm gonna eat right. We want to exercise, and I'm gonna eat right, girl. I'm gonna have my six pack. I'm gonna get sexy. Look, yeah, okay, we could do that, but if this ain't right, it don't matter what this physical thing look like. I people could tell me, look at me, girl, you pretty over all that. I could be as fine as wine, but if my heart and my mind and my mouth, the words that come out of my mouth are foul and nasty, that makes me a very ugly person. Beauty, they say beauty is within the eyes of the beholder. Beauty comes from within. There are people that may not physically be attractive that I have met, but because they have such a beautiful heart, because they just have a beautiful mind in the way their spirit is, I find them to be the most gorgeous creatures that ever walked this earth. And that's coming from me. I'm telling you that now because of their spirit. I'm like, wow, you are absolutely gorgeous. You are absolutely handsome because of that person's heart and because of that person's spirit. I am immediately like, wow. But then these things come with older maturity. But the thing is, why wait until I'm 40, 50, 60 years old and I'm dealing with different things? Why not start? The younger you are, the better. That's what I'm trying to teach Amari now. Amari's 11. I know there's some things he's holding on to sometimes, and we're working through those things. But I'd rather him learn now so that way when he becomes a man, because there's going to be things as a man that he's going to have to deal with. That he's going to, if I teach him and equip him now, it's not going to be that difficult for when he has to deal with those things as a man, that I'm not going to be able to be there for him like that. My niece, same thing. We got kids. We don't teach this generation about forgiveness now. What do you expect they're going to be like when they get older? We have some real evil kids running around. This next, you come on, and we're gonna turn around. Why is this generation like? Because we taught them lead by example. So I posted two questions on here, and I would really love your feedback. And if you guys want to go ahead and respond now, you can. The first question was, how has being able to forgive positively impacted your life? So I told you for me, I'm gonna tell you how it's helped me. Number one, I think clearly. I could be in certain environments and settings and not be angry about it anymore. I sleep better. My skin's clearer. Hello. I don't eat like I was. I eat my emotions. I'm an emotional eater. So when I'm angry, most of us ladies, they laugh at us, but you see it on a that Hollywood makes fun of us women. We go get a gallon of ice cream, cake, chocolate, all these things that they make fun that we women do, but we do. Some of us do it. Or, you know, we drink, we smoke, we go screw our feelings away. Come on now, you will sleep with some random men and women do it. We sleep with random people, then turn around. What the hell I sleep with that person for? I ain't the only one that's done it. Half of some of y'all done it too. Y'all done slept with somebody, then turn around and went. I, y'all had some regrets the next morning. You don't play. Quit playing. I've done it too. But these are things that we do. There are different ways when we hold things, it comes out. And then, like I said, it'll come out in the illness, mental or physical. So you'll have anxiety, depression, stress, bipolar. These things could trigger, they lead up to other things, and some could be greater than others. You have people get cancer behind unforgiveness. Come on, that same six. You can get, high blood pressure. Come on. All these things can cause other things. I just told you my skin's better now. I break out. I break out bad. I got acne like bad on my face, on my body. I'm clear as a beautiful. I have some great. I ain't had skin this pretty since I was pregnant, but I'm clearing up. Why? Letting them weights go. Them boulders I've been left to the side. I could come and talk to you about it. I could share that with all of y'all that's watching. Not everybody's able to do this right now. So that's how it's impacted me. But then how is holding on to your past hurt it affected you? Okay? There was a time. I told y'all at the beginning. I drank. I could go to the store. Now here was my thought process because some of us had this. I'll go to the store, I buy so many bottles of wine, so many this, and I said, okay, that's gonna last me for 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks maybe. Yeah, it lasted me about 2, 3 days. You hear me? That's how much. Okay? Or I smoke my Black and Miles. What? Yeah, I do. Some of us go smoke weed. Some of us are doing harder drugs. All of it's a drug. Alcohol's a drug. Hello. Go look at it. If you don't, I'll send the link. I'll explain to you all these things are drugs. And I'm not sitting here saying you can't do these things. You choose to do it, go for it. I mean, everybody's gonna do what they do. And I'm not sitting here judging nobody for what they're doing, okay? Please let me say that. But what I will say is when you enjoy and you do certain things, we shouldn't abuse it. So some of us abuse the use of alcohol. Not saying nothing wrong with having a drink every now and then, Nothing wrong with having a glass of wine every now and then, but sometimes abuse it and you misuse it. I did it. I would sleep with different people. Yes, I did, because I didn't want to feel stuff. But let me explain something to you. When you have that unforgiveness, when you hold on to these things and you don't deal with it when you need to deal with it, when it's time to deal with it, all of it will come out, and it's harder to deal with it later than it is to deal in that moment. And that's the process I had to go through. That's why at first it was hard to talk about a lot of the stuff that I went through. Because if I went through it and dealt with it earlier, it wouldn't have been as difficult. I could have probably shared a lot of what I'm sharing with you now before. But I had to go through a process that now I can come here and I can share this with everybody and go, this is what I went through. This is how I'm dealing with it. Am I still healing? Absolutely. It's a daily process. But the beautiful thing is, I could come and tell you guys about it, and hopefully, I'm helping someone else. Or maybe you share it with somebody else and say, this is somebody I know that went through this. And now, he or she, this hopefully what she says can help you. Forgiveness is key. We have to, as Sheila said very much earlier in the comments, we have to forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves is very important, but we have to acknowledge what it is that we're forgiving. Sometimes it's something that somebody did to us and we know better. I know how I'm to be treated. I'm worthy of so much. I'm a valor woman. I'm a victorious woman. I'm a powerful woman, worthy of more than anybody can ever imagine. I'm not just a prize, honey. I'm priceless. So I can't allow just somebody to treat me any old way just because you woke up some morning and thought I was cute. Mm-mm, please. I'm priceless. So whomever comes around me and whoever's with me will know that. And I will not hide it. And now somebody might think, oh, Janine is stuck up. Well, hey, I'm stuck up. When you know your value, when you know your worth, when you know who you are, you will not allow people to treat you a certain way. You will walk away. Forgiveness is so, so important. And you learn that in that process. People will hurt you. People will do so many things to you. But at the end of the day, before you close your eyes, you have to say, okay, it's good. We got to forgive those things. I don't want to go to bed angry because you'd be wondering why you wake up in the middle of the night. You still thinking about such thing. Let it go. I've had people in the past couple of years that have hurt me in ministry. I had to forgive them. I didn't want to. I want to be mad. They did this. They did. I have to forgive them. Nancy said, so before you could have shared out, yeah, it is my healing process. It is. And now is very freeing. Like today, I feel free right now. I feel release right now, Nancy. I can smile bigger today than I did yesterday because of what I shared with everybody here today. I don't have secrets. I don't have things to hide. And I may not like sharing a lot of things, but trust and believe in God saying and nudging in my heart that I need to share this with people and I need to tell, please believe I will. I'm more I'm more obedient to the Spirit of God than I am to man. I may not like what the Spirit of God says, and trust and believe until somebody tell me that the Lord done told you. Okay. And sometimes it's a few times, but I have to be obedient. So I'm hoping that this has been helpful. I told you I was going to try to keep it brief and kept it to like an hour and some change. I'm sorry about that for anybody who had to go probably do some of the things. Um, but this is truly a healing process. Our country is in need of healing. We, as a people, are in need of healing. Okay, COVID-19 is something real. It has happened, and why am I bringing it up? Because we have not learned anything. We've seen anything. We've seen a lot of anger and hate. So the act of forgiveness, yes. But you know what, Nancy? The thing about it, sometimes we don't realize how strong we really are. I've had more people throughout my life tell me, "You're strong, you're strong, you're strong." And my god sister just some things that I shared with her that I went through with my ex-husband, and maybe I'll share with you guys one day. But there's some things that I went through with my ex-husband, and um, and I'm not sharing so much because it's just not time yet. I know I probably will, but there's things I've been sharing with her. She said, "Oh, you strong." She was like, "I would have killed him." but but everybody's response is different. But to endure and go through certain things and hardships that the next person know they can handle. Each of us have a unique story. There's some things I know Nancy probably has gone through in her life. I probably could not handle with it if a candle to me, and I will go, "Wow, I'm in a maze." There's some things my cousin Jerron has gone through. I probably couldn't handle it, but I could look at him and go, "Wow." Kyla, Maria, some things each and every last one of you have gone through, but you guys got through it. Makes you stronger now. You have a story each of you can tell that'll help the individual that's going through that same situation or similar. There are things about people that I have been very blessed and fortunate to meet that if you knew some of their stories, and I look at them now, I go, I, I, I know it made them stronger, but it made them wiser. And then when you have your faith and trust in God, baby, we are a generation that must lead by example. This generation coming up behind us is seriously watching us. They really are. And they're going to act accordingly. So when we get to be in our wiser years and they become in their the age we are now, and we're going to look at them and go, "Well, why y'all doing it? This is how y'all acted." Prime example, when we were younger, we used to do, some of us, I know Jerron's my age, Kyla's close to my one. Kyla, how old are you now? Like you now. I'm 14 years older than you in your 30s. You probably just turned 30 something. But back in the day, Luke come on. And everybody pop, pop. And so everybody getting their hands popping that booty, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I'm just giving an example, but now we see these kids, little kids, they saw that. So they figure, hey, this is what mama did. They're watching. If I saw Nancy down the street, Nancy did something, I said, "You stupid little but." She think my kids gonna do if I act like that in every situation. "You stupid little." I have to catch myself sometimes because I get in a car and somebody do something stupid, and I'm like, "Hmm." I'm like, so stupid. And Mario go, "You dummy! You shouldn't mess with my mommy." And then I said, "Mario, let's not do that." I said, "Mommy has to stop that. He's watching me." Like, oh, I cannot teach my son to respect women when his mama don't respect herself. So, yes, forgiveness is something that'll make us strong. And going back to that, the process, to actually go through the process and live through it and survive it and to let go. You're already strong when you survived it. We just don't want to acknowledge that. That's the part. I never wanted to acknowledge that. I really survived this. I survived an abusive marriage and I'm stronger for it. I survived being raped, but I'm stronger. I'm survived an alcoholic father. I'm not mad at him. He had to get it, that was his. But guess what? He taught me a lot, and I have to forgive him for that. Some of the things he took my mama through wasn't right, but guess what? That's okay. I forgive him. There's some things my mama and I went through. My mother and I did not always get along. Do you understand? My mom and I did not get close until really, we were already close, but we really, really get close until after my father died. So, and that's real. I have to be honest about that. My mother dying like she did, I was pissed. Ooh, I was pissed. I'm telling y'all that for a reason. First, I was mad at that husband. I'm gonna tell y'all that I could have called him. And said, hey, I was mad at him, but I had to forgive him. Even my mama said forgive me for me. I have to. Okay. It took time though. My mama got sick. She was gone in less than a year. And I'm gonna admit this, I got mad at God. I mean, you're just sitting here talking about God, how you love him, but you got mad at God? Yeah. I'll admit it. How, how dare you? This was a woman who loved you, who served you, who did this, who did that. And how dare you take her like that from me? I went through that. And in the same breath, I had to turn around and say, God, forgive me for even being angry with you. You knew what was coming, you saw what was coming. So, first and foremost, God, please forgive me for even thinking to be angry with you. Do I miss my mama? Oh, tremendously. But there are two things my mom gave. There are three things. First, my mom always used to say, best gift from a giver is Jesus. And that was one. That's very true. Second thing she told me before she died, she said, baby, pray. And I went, right, right. But I had to learn how to pray. For real. Then she said, live. I'm going to tell you a secret. My mom's now been gone for about 2 years. She died in August 2018. So coming up on 2 years. Yeah. She said, pray. She said, live. It took me this past birthday to understand what she meant. Now, mind you, before she got sick, she was saying that to me. She said, baby, you gotta live your life. So, huh? Live my life. Now I'm beginning to understand it. Now, because here I am, I'm entering 40. I'm 40 years old. This is a new chapter in my life. I've had life experiences, I've had things happen, as y'all can well tell, but I had to go through a process to get to where I am right now, to live and love my life. I could look at myself and say, girl, you were cute today. I ain't got to put on the 20 pounds of makeup. I may not have my braids. I will rock my fro and be like, right on. Okay? Have my curly hair, be happy. Put a turban on, be happy. You already know. Hey, I will be straight. I ain't gonna change. I ain't gonna filter. Don't like it. Hey, but there had to go through a process. I had to forgive other people who hurt me. I had to begin people God put back in my path that I did not realize I hurt. And I had to say, I'm so sorry I hurt you. Will you forgive me? So I could be released from that. And then forgive Janine. But it was all when I released it, when you exonerate, and I mean exonerate, you forgive, you forget, you move forward. It's a process. I had to let go of that anger, that sadness, that hurt, whatever it is. And whatever, see, these things are not part of Christ. They're not part, it's not part of what our makeup is. We are not, we have different emotions, but we feel with joy, feel it. We cannot say joy comes in the morning. We cannot sit here and say I'm happy. You can't sit here and say I'm blessed and you got all of this weight. Let it go. You want God to fill you up with goodness, but you got this hindrance of hate, anger, bitterness, and everything else sitting there festering. Let it go. Trust me, when you let it go, God fills it up with the good stuff. He don't fill me up with joy. He don't fill me up with happiness. He don't fill me up with some things that, baby, I'm still smiling. That stupid little text message, I would not be smiling today. I would be. And he did. Tori, I don't know if Tori's watching. I'm gonna respond to you in just a second, but yes, I think she texted. Yes, I am. But let it go. We have to do that individually, but we have to do this group of people. I don't care what your race background, it's a nation. But anyway, I think I'm done now. About an hour and 22 minutes. I hope I gave you guys something that was helpful today. I hope you guys enjoyed Corner Chatting Coffee with me this morning. I thank you all for being with me this morning. Definitely, I'm coming back. I think I'm going to be doing this pretty regularly because I enjoy it. And as I said, the corner chat's going to be different, and the corner is going to be a little bit different. So share, comment. I'm going to post those two questions again. And I was going to talk about relationships today, but as you obviously see, God led me to do something else. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow. Maybe I'll talk about something else. I got to see where I'm led to do. But I want you guys to join me tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning, with your coffee, tea, whatever works for you in the morning, or you just want to come say hey. And if there's something you want to hear me talk about, you want to hear something maybe I went through, I've been through part of it. So you want to hear my perspective, you can always inbox me. I'll put my contact information there, and I'll talk to y'all about it. But other than that, I hope you guys are blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. You guys, please stay safe. Wear your mask. I know not everybody believes in it, but I still want you to be safe. Wear your mask. Be safe wherever you go. Use wisdom and knowledge. Stay strong. Keep your faith. Still, just, I'm going to say this, speak positiveness in your life today. Speak good things into your life. So I love you all to life. I want you guys are beautiful. You are blessed. You are wonderful. You are amazing. You are capable of doing everything and anything you ever put your mind to. Okay? And don't let nobody, if somebody got a problem with what I said, have them call me. I'm going to tell them what it is. I got your back. Mwah. God bless y'all. Love you. Bye.